credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
Very good evening. I'm Lisa Broom with the Thursday, May 14th edition of the CBC Evening News. In our top story, the Queen Elizabeth Hospital is moving to ensure it will not be affected as private waste haulers stepped up their protest over the tipping fee. The haulers have stopped collecting waste from the hospital. The move is part of action by the haulers, who first parked their trucks at Warren's and then attempted to drive as a convoy through Bridgetown. When contacted, a hospital official told CBC News that facility will rely on the Sanitation Service Authority to collect its garbage. Well, just yesterday, Minister of the Environment, Dr. Dennis Lowe, revealed new measures were being put in place to address any fallout linked to the protests. He described the action by the private waste haulers and movers as bullying behavior and said Barbados would not be held hostage. Well, some Barbadians are of the view that more needs to be done in the recycling industry. Our CBC team took to the streets of the city to talk about the issue. The recent protests over the tipping fee for haulers has thrown up the question of whether it's time for Barbados to look seriously at recycling. While many Barbadians agree, some have different perspectives.
Enough efforts are not being done. Right? I think they should put more effort into it because to me it's a #1 business. And don't care where you go, you will always got recycled. Right? So we need to come together. Yeah, we need to come together and get the authority to look into it.
A lot more has to be done, more than what is being done, has been done so far in this country in relationship to recycling of garbage, recycling of other things. Yes, a lot more has to be done by various people. The country has to be on board, so to speak, the majority of people in the country, to make sure that the benefits of recycling are brought about and for the benefit of the country itself.
However, others say teaching children the importance of recycling is key.
Teach the youngsters to be clean. You understand? The come up clean, you know, when you're brought up this way, it starts from home. It doesn't start from the road, it starts from home. So if the parents do that, it'll be fine.
A lot needs to be introduced in the schools. Start with the children and then, then it will filter over to the other communities within Barbados.
Sanita Jones admitted she recycles her products.
I, as a homeowner, do recycling like PET bottles, tuna cans, Clorox bottles. I have friends too that I tell them, well, there's money that you can make on the side by recycling your stuff.
Most of the public concluded that both the government and the private sector will have to come together if they want to deal with the amount of garbage on the island. The Ministry of Health is committed to providing opportunities for the advancement, training and recruitment of nurses. Minister John Boyce gave the assurance as he addressed the opening of the Nurses Week seminar at the Hilton Hotel. He told the gathering that nurses have gained the respect of successive governments as they are essential to the delivery of quality health care.
Members of the healthcare team are already making critical contributions to all areas of healthcare delivery, that is primary, secondary and tertiary levels, inclusive of acute and chronic care settings and primary care services. To this end, the Ministry of Health is committed to providing opportunities for advancement, training and recruitment of nursing personnel and development of the necessary infrastructure to strengthen and improve the quality services which are being delivered.
Mr. Boyce says there's been some success since the ministry started the 100 Improvements in 100 Days initiative by the National Initiative for Service Excellence, or NICE.
9 of the 14 government-operated health institutions, inclusive of the psychiatric hospital, district hospitals and polyclinics, submitted 139 improvements in a range of areas. These areas included improvements in customer service, process development, waste reduction, and greening initiative efforts. And I really want to congratulate the profession generally and the particular institutions who took part and who continue to take part in these initiatives. And in this regard, I want to, this morning, especially mention the psychiatric hospital.
The Ministry of Finance has until tomorrow to give full disclosure about its plans for the transition of the Customs and Excise Department into the Barbados Revenue Authority. The ultimatum of sorts was issued by the National Union of Public Workers following an emergency meeting with workers last evening at its Dalkeith St. Michael headquarters. Acting General Secretary Rosalind Smith says ministry officials were unable to provide the union with the information it wanted to update the customs officers, who she says have valid concerns.
Given the earlier moves with the other departments and the kind of problems that, still need to be resolved. So they want to have a full, clear understanding of the terms and conditions, the job security, there are a number of things, the whole issue with the border control, where custom would fit into this external taxes and border control entity. But so issues like appointments, supersessions, and as I said, the whole issue relating to the terms.
The National Union of Public Workers almost saw itself at the center of a pay row as auxiliary workers there complained of not being paid. CBC News understands the new executive had not been signing checks. When contacted, a senior union official said there was a misunderstanding and assured the workers the matter would be resolved today. In other news now, white flour, rice and potatoes are highly linked to chronic non-communicable diseases in the region. This from President of the Caribbean Agribusiness Association, Vassal Stewart. He says there are other staples that can be used as substitutes.
We see the development of the cassava and the other staples, not only in terms of its economic impact, in terms of potential for generating more income and more jobs, but more importantly, its potential impact on our health.
He was speaking before a cassava bread demonstration at the dining club. Bakers from across the island were given tips on how to prepare cassava bread. Director of the Food and Agriculture Organization, Dr. Deep Ford, says Barbadians need to make better consumption choices.
There still is a tendency to want to utilize processed products, imported products, and not our own products. So we have to do a lot on marketing, and we have to do a lot on consumption decisions, food consumption choices, the consumption choices that consumers make in households have to be different. And we're making efforts in that front, on that front as well.
Coming up, more news in just a moment, but first we want to get your take on this question. Is the delivery of health care by Barbadian nurses on par with their colleagues across the world? Text yes or no to short code 8111. You'll have the results at the end of the news.
Dear Clark, I've made a fascinating discovery. The institutional water cooler. Its gravitational pull sucks people from their workstations at the busiest times of day to stand around it and chat about emerging global trends like, will pink be in fashion next season? Meanwhile, the world slows to a stop as it waits in line to be served. I don't see that trend at Globe Finance.
Globe Finance. Think outside the bank.
When it comes to their financial service, slow is out, swift is in.
Your home is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make. So don't let the elements wreak havoc on it. To protect it against peeling, cracking, flaking, fungus and algae, use Berger Weatherproof Ultra. Extreme tropical protection made to withstand the elements. Ultra tough, ultra durable, ultra beautiful. We guarantee it.
Berger paints the lasting beauty and protection.
Our life, our restaurant, our family means everything to us. A strong headache, then the pain goes away and our passion comes in.
Panadol Ultra, a combination of ingredients clinically proven to relieve the toughest pains, strong enough to relieve even the pain of migraine. Panadol Ultra, when strong pain is gone, life takes its place.
The offshore dancehall artist who, after shattering a long-standing snag, lands one of the most coveted record deals in music.
Nobody nothing knows. Y'all came here to see me die for the murder of Courtney Gunderson. But I did not kill Courtney.
We have a prostitute. Raped, strangled, love bite, the works.
Oh, okay. So all this mess is because that hillbilly snapper wasted 2 minutes of everybody's time announcing that he didn't kill Courtney Gunderson. Don't tell me you believe him.
Ariel, call 911!
Samuel!
Let me see if I got this straight. Those people in there are in some kind of trance, and the only person that can wake them is dead.
Make no mistake, when you're looking for the #1 source of the latest business news in Barbados, the region, and beyond, it has to be The Bottom Line, produced and presented by me, Ryan Broom, every weekday morning on CBC's 94.7 FM at 7:50 a.m. It comes to you with the kind compliments of the Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union Limited, reminding you to save smart and borrow smarter. So remember, make it your business to tune into The Bottom Line, the best source for business news on the radio.
Women can achieve. That was the message sent to secondary school girls across the island as the Childcare Board hosted a seminar for girls at Solidarity House. The young ladies were encouraged to take pride in themselves. Over 200 students were present, and the theme was, "Being a lady in today's world, know your worth. My body, my choice." One of the speakers, principal of the St. George Secondary School, Sandra Goodrich, highlighted successful women in society.
The whole idea was to ensure that the students left here understanding that they are precious. And therefore I used photos of women around the world, like the president's wife, Obama, President Michelle Obama, and I would have used Lady Gaga, different types of women, as well as Mary Fraser and the Senator Carrie Ann Eiffel, that they could see different women and have an opinion of them.
And the students shared what they learned.
I have learned that indecency is very bad, and it actually brings me discomfort when seeing skimpy clothing on young women. And we've also learned today how to contact child abuse or a person that we trust if there's any abusive relationships.
I learned about child abuse and how to deal with it if it ever happens to you, and what to do when it actually happens, to tell someone that you trust, call Childcare Board, and anything else.
I learned that you should be always confident in yourself, and I should always do what I believe is right. So whenever I might have a difficulty, I can always look into myself and I will find the answer lying there.
I took away that you should appreciate yourself and your body and respect yourself, and don't let man, woman, child, adults take advantage of you.
Reduced sponsorship and competition from 4-Day Morning and other bands remain challenges for many local bands this year. But some local entities like Lucky Horseshoe Jump Promotions are at the forefront of a campaign to add new fuel to the festival. Sean Farrell reports.
Jump Promotions is into its 9th year in the festival, and band leader Laura Galt is excited about the response to its 2015 offering.
What's different about the band this year?
Well, this year we've come in with a more of a fun theme, where it was still based on different popular cocktails in a bar. Lucky Horseshoe is our main sponsor, so obviously we decided to do something centered around the bar and the sports and just the fun drinks. We picked out a few of the popular drinks with some of the different names that are quite interesting and more exciting. And we've had Rennie Ratcliffe, she's back with us this year, and she's designed some great themed costumes around the actual cocktails. And of course we have a great team for the models are in. We have 6 sections, as you saw just now, some really fun sections, some nice bright colors. We already have one section that was sold out before we even launched from a group overseas. That's all sold out already. And we've all had a lot of sign-ups tonight, so we're expecting a really good turnout this year. We only going to take 500 on the road.
However, Ms. Galt says these are still difficult times for local bands.
We find that the 4-day morning, unfortunately, has taken away some of the people who go on Kadooment Day. We've heard that from other band leaders as well. This year, unfortunately, as well, too, we've had an influx of a lot of overseas bands that some people have been talking about on Facebook. A lot of our people have decided they're staying local. We're going to jump with a local bass band. And we ourselves this year, we've been having it very hard to get sponsorship. But luckily, our management and our team, we really look to make Kadooment something and keep it going, because if we don't, it's going to die.
Ms. Galt also believes the festival spirit should be in the air year-round.
The season is so short, and people just tend to just spend money and do things for the 3 months for crop over, but it's it can go right through the year. Me personally, I'm a Caribbean girl. I like calypsos. I wish it were played on all year round on the radio and really make it more and have more carnival feds down in October and in November, not just around the summer,
The band leader says this year, with the theme chosen, they have found it easier to source materials. She also says costume prices will be kept low, around $450 for the package. Meanwhile, Lucky Horseshoe is partnering this year with 4-day band Sugar Rush.
We were thinking about going into Kadooment this year as well, but because we are one of the newer but still more popular bands, we were asked to partner with Lucky Horseshoe. And we also approached by Romp International and other bands to actually do a gelling of the concept, but we decided to go with Lucky Horseshoe.
Band leader Julia Marshall also told the CBC News a Kadooment band is among future plans for the group. Sean Farrell, CBC News.
Up to 1,300 children are receiving breakfast through the Breakfast Club initiative of the Young Women's Christian Association. Coordinator Andrea Taylor believes preparing the island's children for the future is very important. Speaking at the Canadian Women's Club of Barbados' annual disbursement of funds ceremony, Ms. Taylor expressed gratitude, saying the contribution made to the Breakfast Club comes in a time of need.
This check is very timely because we would have had some donors, some trust, who would have given to us, but since then would have left the island, and obviously they would have had to bid farewell to us. There would have been some organizations who, because of the budgeted restraints, would have had to cut down their cost. But in the same breath, we at the YWCA has a responsibility to our children, because we have got to save today's children for tomorrow's future.
In addition, Ms. Taylor says children look forward to the daily breakfast. She says it helps them to refrain from delinquent behavior while at school.
Breakfast opens up for children at these locations at 6:30 on mornings. Some mornings you see children there at 5:15, just waiting to be fed. What does that say? Because you know that it is something that they know that they're going to get. There's something that they know that they're going to enjoy, and they know that it's something that will help them to actually be able to go to school and feel comfortable, and the disruptive behaviors will not be the norm.
Still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region. But first, a reminder that we want to hear from you on the question: is the delivery of health care